Hey everyone, it's Monday, July the 31st, 2023. I'm Doug, and we are playing Connections. So today on our board, we have the following words: oil, quart, pen, yard, foot, katsu, inch, nick, samosa, mile, acrylic, schnitzel, dim, watercolor, falafel, and tempera. Interesting words indeed today. All right. Where to start? There's a few different directions I think we can go here. I feel like, well, one thing that jumps out, and perhaps this is the easy one, is units of measure. And I'm thinking of mile, foot, inch, and yard. Now, I don't think there are any red herrings here. I don't think there are red herrings here. Quart is so yard, inch, mile, and foot would be a measurement of length. Quart is a measurement of volume. So I think that that's distinct and will probably belong to another category. So I think it's safe to try the measurements of length here. I think is probably the most specific way I can put this. I feel pretty good about that. Let's see if we got that correct. And indeed, units of length. All right, very good. I even guessed the category name correctly. All right. So we got the easy one down. The yellow one, of course, it's not going to get any easier. No pun intended. Okay, so what do we do next? So I see acrylic and I see watercolor, right? So I think right away that feels to me like types of paintings. So watercolor, acrylic. I feel like oil would be a type of painting. And here's where I'm in a little bit of a jam. So the words left are falafel, schnitzel, tempera, and katsu. Now, I know that falafel and schnitzel are foods. And I know tempura, T-M-P-U-R-A, is like a type of, it's like a sushi or something adjacent to sushi or fish. I am frankly not 100% sure on the dictionary definition of samosa and katsu. So that's a bit of a conundrum for me. So my spider sense here is that of these five words, falafel, tempera, schnitzel, samosa, and katsu, that one of them is the odd word out and is not a food. So my challenge is to guess which one it is. So I don't think pen is a painting, quart is a painting, nick is a painting, or dim is a painting. And frankly, I have no idea what those words are supposed to have in common. But that's for later. So I feel like the game here is to figure out which of these other five words I'm interested in. Falafel, I'm going to rule that completely out. Schnitzel, I'm going to rule that completely out. I feel like I don't think tempera is a type of painting. So even, but I could be wrong. Samosa and katsu. So one of katsu, samosa, and tempera is not a food. I think that's what I'm getting at. And now I have to try and guess which one is not a food. Samosa sounds to me like a food. So I think, and this is almost like, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire type thing. So I think I've got a 50-50 between katsu and tempera in terms of which is the type of painting. Now, I have four guesses to work with. See, and I feel that if I riddle it out, the other four end up being a food category, and heck if I know what the other category is. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I feel like I've talked myself down to a 50-50 between katsu and tempera. So I think I'm going to start with tempera because that could be a trick. Because I know tempura, but I don't know tempera. So maybe that's meant to confuse me. So I'm going to go with tempera as a type of painting. And so I feel like I'm either going to get this right or I'm going to get the one away message. So let's see what we get here. Oh, we got it. Types of paint. Okay, painting, paint. All right. Oh, well, that's extremely fortuitous. So I think now we're over the hump, so to speak. And of course, there's the second most difficult one. So I go now to falafel, schnitzel, samosa, and katsu. I'm feeling like we're dealing with foods here. And I know it's probably more specific than foods. So I perhaps will give myself a demerit on this. But I think this is the grouping, and it is food-related. So let's see if that's correct. Deep fried food. Okay. And again, I'm getting them in order of least to most difficult. So that's cool. So now we're here with dim, nick, pen, and quart. Dim. Nick is a name. Nick is something like like an abrasion or a scratch. Pen, writing instrument, an enclosure. Pen, sports team like the Penguins. I don't think. Quart, again, measure of volume. What would these have to do with each other? They have different lengths in terms of the word. How many letters? There's not like a certain number of a certain letter or anything. Acronyms. Dim, light. Dimension. Is it short for something? Like nickname, dimension. I think I'm going to have to raise the white flag on this one, so I'll give myself a partially complete today. We've got the grouping, by default, but I will admit I'm crying uncle. I don't know what the category is. I'm very curious to know what the answer is, so let's find out together. What is the answer to this mystery? Starts of U.S. Oh, my goodness. That's a troll level. That's a troll category. I get it. So, dim, if you put a letter after that, it's dime. Nick, if you put two letters after nickel. Pen, penny, quart, quarter. Wow. Just wow, New York Times. I got to tell you, that's kind of a troll there. Multiple things. Like, anyone who's watching here, who's enjoying this game from outside the U.S., totally, in my humble opinion, and I'm not trying to really come down hard on the Times here, kind of obnoxious, very U.S. centric. But wow. I mean, it is what it is. It's still a fun game. I love this, and we'll come back every day. But boy, that I'm going to call that a bit of a troll category right there. But there you go. Hey, I would love to know. Let me know in the comments if you got this. How did you figure it out? What was your thought process? That's what I think is going to be great about the comments and connections videos here. I'd love to hear the thought process that you had for these different categories, because I don't know, I just drew a blank on that one. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow for some more connections.